Genesis chapter 30, verse 1. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, she envied her sister. She said to Jacob, "Give me children, or I shall die." Okay, so, the envy. We've seen the Philistines envy as well Isaac, right? That is why ultimately they asked Isaac to leave all this fighting about wealth. Now we have this envy between the sisters. The one is loved by her husband, the other one hated by her husband. Okay? But the one hated is getting the children because God is giving the children to that one. But the one loved is getting absolutely no one. And she is now, although she has love, but she doesn't have the children. So maybe she is like, she would have seen that her husband, there's nothing really changing in her husband towards her. But there is this internal battle, or external actually, in this case, battle going on, internal in the family, external between people, not internal in Rachel herself. Right? So she goes to Jacob and says, "Give me children, or I'll die." Now, when she gets a child, the second one, she actually is going to die. Right? So, unbeknownst to her, she is actually kind of prophesying concerning her future here. Okay, but she's not a prophetess. This is not something she would have known, but this is how it's going to play out. Her idea or saying about this dying is that, it's just a sort of speech kind of like, you do give me this or I'll die. Now, how the heck was Jacob supposed to be able to give her children? Okay? Jacob's supposed to give her children. Right? How? I mean, and even in their belief system, they believe that ultimately it's not, it's God who is the one to give children, as we're going to see from Jacob's answer. So she's asking for something that, as if Jacob is the one that's guilty, right? Maybe not, maybe there's another reason. One, in a certain sense, Jacob is guilty because he doesn't love Leah, and for that reason, but again, Jacob didn't know that, and they didn't know it, we know that. Okay? So, it's kind of, if Jacob would have loved Leah, then Rachel would have had children. Right? This is a different reason why Rachel is barren than in those other cases. Verse 3. Then she said, "Here is my servant Bilhah. Go into her so that she may give birth on my behalf, that even I may have children through her." Okay, so this is a total different reason why Sarah told Abram to go with Hagar, right? Because there was no children involved. Sarah had no children. Okay, Rachel as well has no children, but Jacob already has a number of sons, right? And so there's not that kind of reason. But the only reason here is envy. The only reason is my sister has all these kids. I have no one, and so envy is the only reason. No other reason at all at play here. But unluckily, Jacob is going to listen to her. So she wants, "Here's my servant, so she'll have your children." Maybe, she couldn't know that she will for sure have children. Maybe then these children would be like me. Again, so it's like that's showing back to the Sarah Hagar story. It was wrong here. And it's wrong here as well, but again, through this God, they are going to be part of the 12 tribes. Verse 4. So she gave him a servant Bilhah as a wife, and Jacob went into her. So here's the servant, she gave him, and Jacob listened to his wife. Adam, Abram, Isaac, Jacob, they listen to their wives, and they are responsible, not they, the wives, the men are responsible, because that is how God created them. Adam first, right? So again, men can't blame females, but then females who wants to take over the role of the men, do you really want that? Because if you do, then you are the responsible ones, then actually you need to reread it in your context, and that would mean that Eve was the one responsible for eating. Now, I don't know if you really want to go down that road at all. But you might. I wouldn't advise you. Verse 5, and Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. So, lo and behold, she did conceive. Verse 6, then Rachel said, God has judged me and has also heard my voice and give me a son. Therefore she called his name Dan. Right? So God heard, and this is then as well the etymology of the name, kind of, or in some cases just the sound of the name. And Dan is now his name. God has heard her as well. Judge, God just heard, and he gave. Okay? Verse 7. Rachel's servant Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. So it's kind of strange here. He kind of keep on having intercourse with the servant now, right? He has his wife, he had two wives, now the servant. And I mean, for a child to be born, it's not just going to, after one night, I mean, it might happen, but there's going to be, most likely in most cases, a number of times that you have to have intercourse with the woman so that she will get pregnant. It's not just, you went in one night and, I mean, it might happen again, but, I mean, right? And so yeah, he kept on going to her. And she conceived another son. So again, we don't know all the, did he like it that much? Or did she kept on, one is not enough, my sister already has 4, we need to get more. Okay, we don't exactly know all the backstory here, that's not important. It's just, she had another son. Verse 8. Then Rachel said, with mighty wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister and have prevailed. So she called his name Naphtali. Right? So mighty wrestlings, like is she really wrestling? It's a sister, the servant that's doing kind of all that pain, going through the pain of childbirth, doing all of this. So this is just a surrogate for her. There's absolutely nothing to do with her. It's not even surrogate in the way that she gave it or anything like that. This is just plain. The other person is doing everything. But she calls a servant, this is her servant, so it's as if she is doing it. And wrestling with her sister. I mean, gee whiz, the names of all these kids are like not good names. Only maybe Judah, but the rest is just like, it's just a fighting. It's just fighting. I mean, it tells the story of this family. I think every time you call the names of these kids, you were like, oh man, this is my origin. We are fighting. There's never any good in any of this. But yeah, right. This is a very dysfunctional family. And so Naphtali is his name. Verse 9. When Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as a wife. Okay, so Leah's not going to stand to the side and just let this happen. Okay, she can't have children. She already has 4 of them, boys that is. We don't know how many girls as well at the same time. And it's like, here's my servant, right? Jacob, gee whiz, Jacob, just go on. He's been prostituted out, seemingly more than anything else. Here the husband is a prostitute, kind of. Anyhow, okay, so here's verse 10. Then Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a son. So here now Zilpah gets pregnant and Zilpah bore a son. And Leah said, verse 11, good fortune has come. So she called his name Gad. Right? Good fortune. Right, for her, good fortune. Gad. Yeah, whatever. Verse 12. Leah's servant Zilpah bore Jacob a second son. Not to be outdone. Jacob keep going to her as well. Right? Yeah. And it is funny. I mean, it's sad. It's totally sad, but at the same time it's so funny in the sense, oh, they are playing. He's playing along with this. He's playing along. Maybe he was just so tired of the bickering of the woman. It's just, doing this kind of idea. Okay, no idea what the heck is going on. But here, second son. And Leah said, verse 13, and Leah said, happy am I, for women have called me happy. So she called his name Asher. So now she's happy. She's happy that now her husband got 2 more sons for her through this servant. Like she has now 6 sons. Okay, she's going to get 2 more and a daughter at least. but most likely a couple of more daughters as well. Okay, and yes, she's happy. I'm happy because my husband basically, through this woman, bore more children for me. Yeah, right there. Okay. So, yeah, let's continue now recording at another place and continue driving down the road.